Hey guys, it's Nina back with the last segment of your lock questions. Thank you all again so much for sending these. I've really enjoyed answering these. I look forward to doing this again at some point, so stay tuned for that. Let's go ahead and get started. So 3 people asked the same question essentially, and that question is basically how long does it take the ends of your locks to bud? Yeah, so the answer to this is pretty short and simple. That hair is not going to lock at all. I had some locks that had curly ends at the very beginning of my journey. Those ends are still curly. You cut it and it might seal up or it might just stay straight. You really don't have any way of knowing. You can palm roll it because I've done that with a few of my locks. I don't know if you can see that, but the end on this one is still pretty curly. It's not gonna hurt anything, so it's really up to you whether you want to keep them or cut them. And so kind of in the same vein, Fix01235 asks, I'm 1 year and 1 month in. My locks have loose strands on the outside and I've been told that I should retwist more often, going from every 6 weeks to every 3 to 4 weeks. Does this help? I would say it will help. I retwist my locks every 3 to 4 weeks. I think you can get away with 3 to 4 weeks versus 6 weeks. One of the things that I've realized though is that the loose hair that I have, it's not really been easy to seal up and lock up. I know people will add products to it to keep it down. I personally don't like to do that because I don't like to use too many products. As long as whatever you use is clear and water soluble, you can probably get away with that. Just try to palm roll a little bit more often and I think that that should help. All right, next question is from Riza Mia. She asked, what's the name of the hair dye you used over the years? It might have been Cream of Nature when I colored my locks in 2015, which was year 2, and I did not like how that turned out. So I always suggest people to just go to a professional unless you're doing like a black semi-permanent color, because other colors can be really tricky to work with. And so then after making that color mistake, I used a semi-permanent dark brown from Wella Color Charm. And then recently I went to a stylist and got my locks done, and I just had 40 Developer added over the ends just to lighten them up a little bit. It's been very subtle, but I still have a little bit of lift. Do your research, take your time, do not make any color mistakes, because color definitely changes the integrity of your locks. So just be careful with that, girl. All right, next question is from Ebony Ben. She says, hey, I just started my locks under 2 months. My loctician, quotes, her quotes, says that I must put shea butter or grease in my hair when retwisting because it helps to lock. No, but I'm concerned about buildup. What are your thoughts on that? Also, should I be getting my hair pinned up every 2 weeks, or could that ruin the integrity / uniformity of my baby locks? I don't know if your loctician is licensed or whatever, or how many heads of locks they've been doing. I would like to see some of them heads of locks and see how clean that hair actually is, because you don't need beeswax, you don't need shea butter, you don't need anything heavy. Really, it's just the time and neglect that's helping your hair lock. Yeah, you might get a super smooth looking retwist, but then down the line as your locks get longer and you start to see little patches of gunk down the shaft of your locks, that's not going to be cool. So yeah, I think that your instincts, the fact that you said loctician in quotes, I think your instincts are already there. Maybe this is somebody that you don't want to go back to, because that's not good advice. But should you be getting your baby locks pinned up every 2 to 3 weeks? I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't. I think that you need to give your baby locks time to just solidify themselves, get strong, get mature. Just give them time, because once they mature, you're going to be able to do pretty much whatever you want. Let them mature before you manipulate them too much. Carefree Curls 5 asks, I see some lock YouTubers that condition their hair once it's mature. Is that necessary, and will it cause buildup? I guess whether it's necessary really depends on your hair. My hair gets extra dry, and personally, I do prefer to condition rather than not. Will it cause buildup? I think that it will. I have been conditioning my locks now for 4 years, and I use an applicator bottle. I never apply conditioner directly on my hair undiluted, and still on my ends I do have a tiny bit of buildup. Not on every end, but just some of them, areas where I put conditioner. And so that's just something that I've really had to start keeping track of, because I don't want to end up with a ton of buildup down the line. So if you are going to condition your hair, I will suggest dilute it as much as you can, but just know that it's still not going to be 100% foolproof, because it is hard to wash things out of your hair completely. But also definitely make sure that you get I can never see what this is, a handheld shower head. Make sure you get one of those, so that way you can put it directly on your ends and just rinse obsessively. Okay, next question comes from Cohort 5. I have a question about combing out locks. Is it safe? And also, is it easy to comb out locks? Does your hair actually get longer after you finish combing them out? If so, is it possible to maintain the newly acquired length? Sorry for the laundry list of questions, no problem at all. Yes, it is safe and it's easy to comb out your locks. There's a ton of people that have done it here on YouTube. I've never done it. This is my first ever set of locks. You do end up losing some hair because a lot of it is just shed hair. If I combed out my hair today, I wouldn't have this much loose natural hair. I mean, it might be like it might be like this much. I don't really know. But yeah, you can't keep it all, but you can still comb it out and keep a lot. Rutindo Gono 5 asks, how do you keep your scalp moisturized so it doesn't flake? That's still my battle, keeping my hair moisturized. So I use olive oil down the length of my locks, and I kind of try not to put too much oil on my scalp in general because I want my scalp to breathe. As far as I know, flaking is about just the highest cell turnover rate. So I think no matter how much moisturizer you apply, you're still gonna have the same cell turnover rate. So unless you can find something medicated, you're probably gonna deal with the same amount of flakes. All right, Kayla Elaine asks, can you wear hats? I'm thinking about getting locks, but I'm weary of not being able to wear hats. You can wear hats, they just have to be big. Like, I don't wear baseball caps, but I do like to wear visors. And those are pretty easy because you can open them up pretty wide. Fedoras or like beach hats, I can wear those if they're big. So yeah, just make sure you find your size and you should be fine. Sarah Bayless 5, to condition or not to condition? That's a question because I've heard I should not condition my locks. You should not condition them at the very beginning, but you can condition them once they get mature. Again, just make sure that you're rinsing it out as much as you possibly can. Amanda Akatukanda 5, sorry girl if I messed that up. Skincare regimen, please, hashtag the glow. Thank you, Amanda. My skin is something that I have been working on pretty much my entire life. I'm trying to figure out when I'm gonna stop breaking out because, I mean, I feel like in your 30s you shouldn't still be doing that, but no, lo and behold, I still do. So lately I've been using glycolic acid pads from Sephora. So I use those, and I also have the scrub from Philosophy. I'll put a link to those items in the description box. My skin is not perfect, but it's doing better than it has been doing. You might have noticed that I've said 5 after everybody's name, and I'm like, how does everybody have a scream name that ends in 5? But actually, I copied and pasted the questions, and it says 5 days ago on all of them, and I just, yeah, my brain just mashed things all together. So sorry, y'all. Last question comes from Wati Gopo. She asks, hi Nina, I'm trying to thicken my locks, make them bulkier with natural products only. Do you have any tips for me and how I can grow my edges? I would really suggest that you don't try to use any products to thicken your locks. It's really only gonna lead to gunk. And as far as I know, there's really not any way to really thicken your locks outside of combining them. If any of you have any suggestions in the comments, please feel free to leave them. But yeah, I don't really know how you can do it naturally. Maybe if you retwist a little less often, and definitely don't interlock at all because that's gonna make them tighter. But then the only thing with that is that you could run the risk of some inconsistencies in your locks. You might have parts of the lock that are actually soft. I'm sorry, I know that's not a perfect answer, but I definitely would say do not use products to try to thicken your locks. And how can you grow your edges? Girl, I'm still trying to figure out the same thing. If somebody has like a scientifically proven effective method to grow edges, please let us know. So that's all for this video. Thank you all so much again for submitting your questions. I really liked doing this, so I would love to hear from you guys if you have any more. And I will see you in the next one.